Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dinky and today I wanted to come back and talk to you guys a little bit about what's been going on, and I think it's quite ridiculous the way we've been handling it, and it's the coronavirus. Everybody's freaking out. Of course I'm freaking out. I'm a mother. Like, you know, it's scary. But the way people have been freaking out, it's like ridiculous. The other day, I was at my work, and as you can tell, like I said in my last videos, I've been really sick with allergies. Have been really bad for me, and it turned into a sinus infection, and then into a cough and bronchitis. And I just kept coughing, and I couldn't control my cough, to where if you're a lady and you're a little bit older and you have children, it's a good thing you're wearing some protection down there, because if not, all hell will break loose. And so I just remember walking, and my friend, she's a department manager, comes, she's like, wouldn't it be cool if we just yelled out, you have the coronavirus, and then see how everybody would just run? I was like, no. I go, I don't want to be the first one to get fired. I go, even though as much as that sounds like a cool prank, but no, because like 2 weeks ago, we had 2 customers that came in to our store, 2 random different people, and they had masks on that said the coronavirus. And I'm just talking to my friends going, do you guys even know what the coronavirus is? Have you guys educated yourself and read on it, or really ask your doctor, hey, what is the coronavirus? And how can I get it, or how can I prevent myself from getting it? And then I was watching, people are going insane for toilet paper, for water bottles. Like, in my store, for like 4 days, there was no toilet paper. Like, I'll show you guys pictures at the end of the video of how I have pictures when there is no toilet paper. I'll figure out how to upload it to the video. If not, I'll do another video to show you guys the pictures. But it was just hilarious how empty it was. And people are like, I would watch memes of like people say like bad words and say, you guys need to save the toilet paper for the real people who need the toilet paper. And I was like, yeah. And then I was watching the news, and how everybody was going and buying hand sanitizer. And it was like shocking to me how when you ask people, do you know how to use hand sanitizer? It was like, yeah, you just kind of rub them on your hand and that's it. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, you gotta put some on your hand, but you gotta rub it all over your hand until you completely feel it dissolved and your hand feels dry. If you don't have your hands feeling dry, that means you haven't really dissolved the hand sanitizer, and it's not going to work. You're not going to activate that active ingredient that's going to help you keep the sanitizer from working. So it was like, because a lot of people I would watch, and they would put hand sanitizer in their hands, and then all of a sudden you would see them go, like rubbing their, something. And I was like, no. I learned that from my cousin who's a doctor. He's like, when you put on, because he would watch me one day, he's like, you're doing that wrong, because a lot of people put on hand sanitizer wrong and don't even notice. He goes, you just did the big no-no. He goes, hand sanitizer, if you're going to use it, you're going to pump just one little squirt, and you're going to rub it all over your hands, but you got to make sure that it's completely dry, that your hands don't feel wet anymore. He goes, if you just do this and then just do that, he goes, you just wasted it. And I was like, oh, because you have to activate the ingredients in order for it to work. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then I was watching the news. They're talking about how hand sanitizer has been sold out everywhere. And a lot of different, this is going to go back to my other video of why I think this medication and stuff is corruption. This is another thing. People are selling these little bottles for $45 sanitizers. For one bottle, it's like they were like $40, or some were selling it for $50, and some were like extreme, and they were just regular sized bottles, and even the little tiny ones, they were selling it for $25, and I'm just like, you're joking, right? Like, you're literally freaking joking. Like, you just want to profit of people because you can tell that these people are panicking and that the world is going woo because we're all panicking about the coronavirus, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh now everybody's making memes about, little toilet paper bags. I seen my sister-in-law posted one. It was very hilarious, and it was like in the baggie that you would wrap drugs, and it had a little piece of paper in it, little piece of tiny toilet paper, and then it was like a little Ziploc, and it was just one little piece, and then it said selling toilet paper, and I was laughing my ass off because that really explains how we are all panicking about the coronavirus because the media has been scaring us with it. We've been told that you can just get it from spitting, from coughing right there, and then all of a sudden you just walk by and you get it. Or, and then there's been cases where you always see, oh, Tulare County just got the coronavirus. And then everybody starts freaking out. Oh, Fresno County had the first coronavirus victim, and now Kern County has their second. And everybody starts panicking when they see that. And it's like, we all need to step back, stop panicking. It's good to worry and be scared. It's normal, it's natural. Excuse me. But we all panic in the wrong way. And instead of worrying, we need to properly wash our hands. A lot of people don't even wash their hands properly. Like, I'm literally, like, when I worked in the deli, like, they literally, the people that came in and did the inspections to make sure that you were cooking your stuff right, and it was like the state of California, and they would come and they would check to make sure that you were doing everything proper and everything was up to code. And one time, one of them was watching me. She's like, you have to wash your hands. And I was like, okay. So she's like, how do you wash your hands? And I said, well, it's supposed to be for 15 minutes in lukewarm water, right? And that was something that we were taught. Now, sorry, for 15 minutes, you got to just sit there and wash your hands and just scrub and rub. And people forget about this part. I was watching a video of this doctor, and they were explaining how a lot of people forget to wash this part. Sorry, I have a really bad cough. So then you just scrub and you just rinse with soap, and you rinse for 15 minutes, but you have to make sure that the water's lukewarm, almost getting hot to where you can't touch it. Not too hot, but it's medium lukewarm where your hands get in there. That's what the lady had told me. And she was like, you did it kind of right, but you didn't do it long enough. You have to do it for approximately 15 seconds. She's like, because you want to make sure that you're literally getting all that stuff off. And I was like, oh, okay, good to know. She's like, that's how you get rid of the cold. She's like, that's how you get rid of the flu. That's how you get rid of all this other stuff, viruses. That now if somebody's sick and you cough, first thing you do is you're like, oh, no, you gotta teach yourself. Okay, wash my hands before I eat. And a lot of times we forget and we don't care, and we're just like, and so what I like, the experiment that my son's school did, and I've seen like a lot of, I heard this on the radio too, and a lot of schools were doing it. It's a really fun experiment if you want to do this with your children, because I liked it and I was going to try it with my son, so I'll try it out and see how it works, and then I'll probably blog about it later. So, they bought some bread, and she made sure that everybody washed their hands differently. She gave them the bread to the people that didn't wash their hands and made them all touch it. And then they put it away in a Ziploc and they left it there. And then there's other people, they washed their hands without soap, and they just washed it for a few minutes, and then they touched the bread. Each individual, they all touched the bread, and then they put in the Ziploc and they all left it. And then the next person went on, and she just washed her hands with sanitizer and just kind of like, and then they went on and touched the bread. And then the other people went and fully washed their hands like how they're supposed to with soap and water. And, and then they touch the bread. And they would watch it every single day. And it was fun to experience to see how the bread would get moldy and which ones would get moldy the quickest and which ones had more mold than the other ones. It was amazing because it showed exactly how bacteria grows and how infection, like germs and stuff. So it was like from not washing your hands to washing your hands with no soap. And then she labeled each one, and it was just cool to see how each little, and it made the kids go, ew, yeah, maybe we should wash our hands, you know? So it's kind of neat. So I think that's a good thing to teach your children, and that would be a good experiment, and that way you guys can teach them and implement them. You need to wash your hands, and especially if you have girls, little girls were like more like, ooh, we gotta keep washing our hands. The guys were like, eh, that is gross, but they were like, that's super cool, you know, because my son was like, ooh, did you see this one, Mom? And I was like, yeah, that is cool, you know. So it was kind of neat to be able to experience that. And like I said, it was actually like a light bulb in his head, like, Mom, I have to learn how to wash my hands good, because then I also learned about cells, about how teeny tiny cell. He was like, the cold, and it's just teeny tiny and you can barely see it, and it's circled, and he was explaining all this science stuff to me, and I'm like, huh? Come again? Like, English, please? You know, so it was kind of neat to see him and his environment, and learn from that. And I was grateful that the teacher taught them that, so that they can be able to see how viruses and germs are spread so quickly. So the coronavirus, from what I was told, is from a doctor, it's like another strain of the flu, but there's like not saying it's the flu, but they're saying it's like a flu-like symptom. You get everything like the flu. So technically, you can say it's the flu, but it's not, because it's its own virus. And the guy in the news, that's a doctor, was saying they probably are not going to come out with the vaccine within a year to 18 months, he said, because they're still working on it. It's fairly new. They still don't know how to attack it, or what's causing it, or what's creating it. So they're still trying to figure it all out. And as they're trying to figure this all out, I just see everybody freaking out. Some people buy, and I was asking my friends, why is everybody buying so much toilet paper? And then my coworker was like, because everybody was afraid. Isolation. I was like, isolation? They're like, yeah, everybody's afraid that um, they might not be able to come out of their houses for so long. So they're buying toilet paper for like months, and water for months, and canned food for days, so they don't have to go to the store. And I'm like, because everybody is so afraid. Flights are the cheapest. And my friend posted that. She's like, I've never traveled to Bahamas and I've always wanted to go. She's like, there's a cruise ship for the Bahamas. She goes, for each ticket it's $98. That's the cheapest I've seen it. She's like, my heart's telling me, hey, let's do it. But then my mind's going, you sure you want to catch the coronavirus? So it was like kind of funny, but then it was like, it's real. Like, because they were just like this week, a cruise ship, I think it was called the Queen, I don't remember, but it stopped in Oakland, and it's in quarantine because a lot of those passengers, some of them have the coronavirus, and they were like, and everybody was freaking out because they were making them stop in California, and it was like, Urgh. But I wish nobody no harm. I hope nobody gets it. It is scary, but if we all keep stressing ourselves about it like that, we're probably going to be the ones that end up getting it. So we have to be mindful of our surroundings. We got to be respectful of our surroundings, of others, and just keep praying every day that it doesn't come, you know, and wash your hands. It's as simple as the doctor on TV was saying on the news. She was like, it's just as simple as learning to wash your hands. It's sad that a lot of people don't really know how to wash their hands, because they'll just wash their hands and then they'll just rinse it off. Or what I've seen a lot of people is what she said. I'll see a lot of people go use the restroom before they even go inside the restroom. They'll wash their hands really good with soap, and then they'll go use the restroom and come back out, and they won't wash their hands anymore. And she was like, that bothered me. As a physician, that was like, and I was like, yeah, that I've seen that. I see that all the time at my work. I'll see people go in, wash their hands, and then go use the bathroom, and then come right out and then just walk away. And I'm like, you're not gonna wash your hands just in case? I mean, I hope you did wipe, right? I mean, it's funny and as it might sound like inappropriate, but a lot of people do that. Like, a lot of people don't even really care. Like, so I used to be that way. And I've learned not to be that way because I know that I can get sick like that, and it causes me all the time. Because I never really get sick, and when I do, it's like I'm always having to run to the doctors or the hospital, and I'm right there at the hospital all the time going, yeah, you were just about to die. Thanks for making it. And it's like, why do I always wait to the last minute? So I'm trying not to be so stubborn like that anymore. So I'm trying to be more mindful of my surroundings and washing my hands more fluently, carrying sanitizer, but everybody's been buying it that there's not, so it's like, it's crazy to see that. But the reason why I want to make this video is because I want people to stop worrying so much about it and start educating themselves of what the virus actually is and and how you can prevent it. Whether, like I said, it's just about, if you feel like you have to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you feel like you have to wash your hands 24/7, wash your hands. It's just learning more about what the virus exactly is and asking your physician for, hey, maybe I should ask my doctor, what can I do? Do that first before you start panicking and going crazy. Because then we get these big companies that come out of nowhere and throw a left field and want to start selling you hand sanitizer for $40, $50 when you know that you can go to Walmart and get it for like $1.88 for a bottle this size, or the big bottle for $5, and yet they want to charge you $50 for a damn little bottle. You're crazy, So it's like, don't let that happen. I hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys hit the like button. If you haven't done that, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys can see more of my channels. And I hope you guys have a great night. Bye. And sorry for all the cough. I can't control it. Bye.